Welcome to my channel. This is Fumi Bitoye, and here I talk about lifestyle, relationship, career, and a whole lot of other things. Today I'm going to be speaking to you on what I title Get Help. And this content is majorly for the married career women. However, everyone can learn one or two things from it. So let's take a look at your life. Your life as it is now compared to what you ever dreamed that it will look like. When you look at that picture, does it align? Or do you see gaps or things that you wish you could change? Well, all that thoughts while we have this conversation. You see, in the 1800s, the 19th century, and the 20th centuries, the way men were raised was different from the way women were raised. Men were raised non-domestically. A man is expected to focus on his own personal growth and pay little or no attention to what happens in the home. However, a woman was trained to pay careful attention to every detail in the home, how chores are done, how children are raised. You are expected to know it all even before you get married. A man just needs to be ready to marry. If he is financially stable enough, he can decide to get married. But for a woman, you are tested in a whole lot of other things. But climes have changed. The world of work has evolved. When you go into the labor force, you find almost as much women as the men. According to a report, in 1890, in most developed countries, only about 15 to 25% of women were actively involved in the labor force. In the 1950s, that percentage had risen to about 25 to 40%. But in today's world, over 50% of women in developed countries are in the labor force. And even in the developing nations, almost the difference is just a little. Therefore, with this increased rate of women in the workplace, is it realistic to expect a woman to be solely responsible for the home management and the care of the children, while the man only concentrates on bringing in the finances? I dare say no. You see, as a man, the moment you agreed to being being financially interdependent with your partner in order to bring stability to your home, that same moment you have unconsciously agreed to being interdependent in the management of the home and the care of the kids. However, because of the difference in our upbringing, we find that women still struggle to do a lot of things in the home, needing help yet asking for none, because they expect their partner to take the initiative and know when to step in. But may I shock you, he isn't going to take the initiative. Yes, the man will not take the initiative because he was not even brought up to identify these needs. He's not even aware that you need help. As long as you have it all going, he believes that you have everything under control. And that is why you need to ask for help. There is no superwoman anywhere. So stop trying to be. Vocalize your requests. Understand that your upbringing is different. The way you and your partner were brought up are different. And the only way you can both align is by communicating. Next, I want you to know that as a woman, you are created for more. You are more than just a homemaker and a career and a mother. Being a homemaker and a mother is not a bad thing. In fact, it's a very honorable thing. But you see, embedded in you are a lot more skills, values, and attributes that you can contribute to the society and make it even better than it is. And you really do not have to choose. You are not expected to choose between your home and your career. You are not expected to choose between family and purpose. You can manage both and thrive in both. by getting help. Get help from your partner, get help from your children, extended family members, outsource certain things, but get help. By getting help, you are able to do more. Also, because this is not the way that we were raised, there is need for what I call unlearning and relearning. You need to unlearn those values that have been detrimental to you as you go. And you need to relearn how to ask for help without feeling guilty, weak, or less than who you are. In order to do so, you need to join communities that are educating women on how to ask for help in a way that improves the health of their marriage. These communities will help you to learn the things that you need and will also remind you that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of humanness. Lastly, for you, the women, how are you raising your children? Are you raising your children in the same old-fashioned way that segregates duties between male and female gender? Or are you raising your children to interdependently carry out activities in the house for the smooth running of the home? Are you operating a gender segregation or gender bias in your home? Or are you operating a home where everybody can be equally accountable and responsible? You see, if you are still transferring this old-fashioned way of training to your children, not only are you not making things better, but you are laying a foundation for your children to also go through the same challenges that you have had to deal with, and even worse, because the world continues to evolve and the women are getting more and more involved in the workplace. Therefore, do you not want your children to be ready for this? Do you not want to train them to be able to coexist with their partners and build a thriving home while both being successful in their career endeavors? Think about it. As for the men, if you're a man and you're listening to me, well, there's something for you to look back at your marriage. How much have you been assisting your partner? If you find that you have not been doing so much in contributing to the running of the home, whether or not she's working, whether or not she's providing financially, I want you to know that running the home and taking care of children is a whole lot to deal with. And by stepping in to assist, you will be improving the health of your relationship and your marriage. So have a conversation with your partner. Find out areas where they need help and take on one or two things that you know you can handle, and you'll be amazed at how much this can help the overall atmosphere in your home. I hope that these pointers will help you to have a more robust marriage.